Welcome back. Now, the theatre production This Is Who I Am will be at the Market Theatre from the 23rd to the 27th of October. It explores identity, resilience and community through the lens of 10 Hillbrow residents. Each participant performs a deeply personal 500-word monologue in response to the title This Is Who I Am. Now, the creator, Jeremy Goldstein, and his co-director, Jaden Mosadi, joins me now in studio to tell us more about this. Gentlemen, welcome. Happy to have you in studio this Saturday night. Jeremy, I think let's start with providing some context in what really inspired you to create This Is Who I Am.
Well, I mean, it's a long-term theatre project. Been doing the work now for about 10 years. Been touring all over the world, and I'm working in local communities and inviting people from within those communities to write 500-word monologues in response to the title. And the work began, it was actually in response to my father.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I had a really difficult time with him, very difficult relationship. And it was only when he died that I was able to repair the damage between us. I learned sort of through that process that the dead kind of live on inside of us, and you know, I was able to take that forward and reconcile my relationship through my theatre projects. So the whole project has sort of become my own path towards truth.
Was that a question that you personally struggled with, figuring out who you are?
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
And I think it's one that a lot of us struggle with.
No,
at some
absolutely.
point.
I mean, my dad had a really interesting history. I mean, he grew up with a very famous English playwright called Harold Pinter, who won the Nobel Prize, and they were friends for 60 years. And during that time, they remained firmly on the side of the occupied and the disempowered. And they also believed speaking their truth to power.
Yeah.
And certainly in their later life, especially with Harold, he became very sort of politically active and really wanted to give a voice to people from marginalised communities.
Yeah.
And my father was they were very much sort of in together in that. And so it felt like sort of making the work really felt that I was able to sort of carry forward their legacy and create opportunities for people who wouldn't normally have a chance to speak up on our stages.
Yeah.
And now I've created maybe 65 different events with over 1,000 people in 10 countries, and I've landed here in South Africa. And it's amazing. It
is amazing. Jaden, I want to bring you into the conversation and speak specifically about why Hillbrow residents and why that story is so important to tell in a South African perspective from the individuals themselves.
That is a good question. So let me start off. The project is an ongoing relationship that I have with the Windybrow Art Center. And with Hillbrow being the forefront of it, it's because these are stories of people that we see every day, but they don't have a voice. And they go through the most traumatic things, and they are just allowed to continue like that. So projects like this is to say to them that they are seen and that their voices matter, and who are they in this cosmopolitan country that we're in. Yeah.
Jeremy, did you go into these communities and engage with the residents of Hillbrow? What are some of the stories that you've unpacked?
Oh gosh, well yes, I mean, to answer the first part of your question, yeah, I mean, we've been working with the Windybrow now for nearly 2 years, putting the project together. It's come about as from an invitation from the British High Commission, who's presenting the project with Windybrow. And there are stories, we've got 10 participants in the show at the market, and there are stories of violence and xenophobia, disability, just, you know, really domestic stories which, you know, which represent the truth of people, which come from the truth of people's lived experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's generally kind of more sort of working class stories and people from marginalised communities that don't always have a voice in society. And of course, you know, theatre is such a great platform for engendering sort of social change. And and that's I think that's really what the project is about. It gives those people a chance to sort of really be heard, but to do so also in the eyes of people who really matter to them.
Yeah.
So our audiences tend to be made up of their family and friends and so on. So they're really meaningful, transformative theatre events.
Yeah. And Jaden, Hillbrow is often labelled as quite a dangerous part of Johannesburg. When it comes to this production, how important is it to balance that sensitivity but not lack on artistic expression? How important is it to find that balance so that when someone watches this, they feel what that person has experienced, but they can still appreciate the artistic part of a production like this?
I think with our approach, we're not trying to paint Hillbrow as this bad place, but a place with people, with actual lives and humans that feel and express themselves. A lot of the times in these type of parts of the city, there's a lot of children that happen and they don't have places where they can go, outlets. So the Windybrow Art Center provides that for them, where kids can get to see other kids just be kids.
Yeah.
A lot of the participants that are in our show, they talk about how they never got a chance to be a kid. Everything was so fast and they were exposed to many things, and when that happens, you cannot differentiate from right to wrong, you know what I mean? So for us, it's really important to try and paint Hillbrow as a place where there's real humans who go through real things.
100%. Jeremy, how important was it for you to challenge that stereotypes that's associated with places and communities like Hillbrow?
Oh gosh, I mean, that's been central pillar behind my work. It's so easy, especially these days, on socials, just to kind of sort of descend into sort of quick, sort of easy explanations about things and stereotyping people.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, and so much of that is just not true. And so when we invite people to write monologues in response to the title, it's really a chance for them to kind of really explore the structure of their identity, who are the people and the places and the experiences that have led to the making of them. And for many people, a lot of the people taking part in the projects have actually never been on a stage before. I mean, this is not quite the case in Windybrow, because they do amazing work in the community here in Johannesburg, but it does provide a different kind of framework for people from within Hillbrow and people from within communities all over the world. I mean, I've toured the shows all through Yorkshire in the north of England, working in sort of poor working class communities, and the people are universal. I mean, they just really want to be heard. They really want to be appreciated, and they want to do that in front of the people who really matter to them.
Jaden, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, what we're trying to also highlight, it's really not really about a performance, but telling your story. It's more about storytelling and finding people who can relate to what you see. You can see yourself in these characters because they're so truthful and honest with what they go through. And the whole point for that was just to, like I said, to give faces and voices to this place where it's regarded dangerous. I don't believe it's dangerous, it's just neglected.
Yeah. So how do people participate? How do they see the work that the both of you have been working on? How do we attend? Where do we
you can go to Web Tickets, and you can book a ticket to the show next week, which opens on Thursday. There's 4 or 5 performances in the Barney Simon Theatre at the Market Theatre. But this is, it's also a multidisciplinary platform. So we're opening the live shows, this is the launch of a much bigger project, which is going to be presented in South Africa over the next 12 months. There'll be online videos of the participants' monologues, which will start to appear in November. We're screening the videos as part of the Johannesburg Film Festival next year. Also taking part in We the People. There's photo portraits, exhibitions, and so on. So yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much to the both of you for sharing this with us this evening. And I hope we've got some viewers who will come through and support.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank
My
you.
absolute pleasure. Well, that was Jeremy Goldstein and Jaden Mosadi, co-director of This Is Who I Am. It's on at the Market Theatre from Thursday. But that is where we wrap up Newsnight for tonight. From myself and the team behind the scenes, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. We leave you with a look at your weather. Good